Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elisa Joseph, and I'm Director of Programs for the U.S. Black Chambers. And I'm excited to be with you all today to walk through this great opportunity with Verizon Small Business Digital Ready program. I wanted to take a little bit of time to help educate everybody in terms of what this program is, how best to utilize it, and how best to really get into the platform itself and sort of understand the registration process and then the opportunities that are afforded. So we're going to start first with what is this program about? And so as we move to the next screen, we're again introducing this program. And right now, many of you may know there is a grant application process that's open with Verizon Small Business Digital Ready. And this is a program that has sort of rolling dates aligned to it. This particular application season is open until May 12th. And what's great is that businesses can receive $10,000 grants if selected. Typically, there are about 50 or so businesses selected during each one of these rounds. But beyond just the opportunity for the grant is really a great opportunity to get resources, to receive coaching, to receive all types of assistance through this program. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So as we get started, we're going to look at what are the sort of the screenshots and the things that you're going to be seeing when you start this process. And so our next screen as it comes up is basically giving you an idea of what does success look like? How do we walk through this process successfully? It really should not take you more than 10 or 15 minutes to do this, but what's really important is there are a couple of things that need to happen in order to make sure that your progression through the registration process is smooth as possible. So we're going to walk through that registration process separately. You may want to have a separate screen open to follow along, so you can actually set up your account as walking through it. We're recording this, so it'll also be available separately through YouTube, and I can also provide this presentation to you separately. And then the other things as we're talking through this to make your process go a little bit more quickly is make sure that you write down this information: your business name, your full address, your phone number, and your industry. And the rest of it is really just selections throughout the tools. So those are the things that really help to make this process move more quickly. What I've done is I've highlighted when we go to the actual web page, I've highlighted exactly where it is that you're going to begin your journey in this process. And as you're running through the process, what's really key is once you begin the registration process, there is a validation/verify process that goes along with that. And so what will happen is that you'll see when we go through the screenshots, what that message is that comes up. And then what would be important for you to do is to go directly to your website, to your mail account, your email account, and just validate that you're the person so you can continue through the process. So let's move to the next slide so we can talk a little bit about what this looks like. So once you click on that Start Now that you saw on the previous page, you're going to come to this welcome page, and it's going to ask you for your email address. And when you put your email address in, it's going to send you, as I mentioned, an email to ask you to verify. So you'll basically kind of, set up your email address. It'll ask you to set up a password. You'll hit continue. It will then generate this message, and it's going to bring you back to a page that looks just like this page, except it'll say username and password. Make sure that you go and check your email. It's really critical. There's like about a time frame in doing that, just to avoid any cyber issues or fraud issues. So it's really critical that you go in to validate your security profile. If you don't see that email, just come back to this page and hit resend email. That happened to me once as I was working through a registration process, and the email will come back to your email address. As I mentioned, it's really critical that you set aside 15 to 30 minutes for this process. So once you start this, make sure that you have the time to kind of go through the whole thing. It really doesn't take a lot of time, but if you kind of get up and you move away and you got to come back, it just sort of belabors the process and it might make you frustrated. And so I just, hope that you can set aside the time to just walk through this. So we're going to go to the next page so you see what happens once you validate your email address. So once you validate it, it's going to tell you you're almost there. So this is the message that you get in your email that says you're almost there. It asks you to register and register now. You click that register now button, and then you're going to come back to this page here. And so this page is really sort of the email address, user ID that you have, and then you start your process of putting in your first name, last name, password, confirming your password and answering the security question. Hit continue. You'll move to the next screen, which is step 5, which is just being able to sign in regularly as your username and password. So once you do that part, we're going to move to the next screen. And here's just a series of questions that you're going to answer. They're really simple. You don't have to think about them. All you have to do is just kind of click buttons to go through the process. So it's going to first ask you, what's your business category? And it has a number of different categories from, automotive to marketing to nonprofit to retail, professional services. So whatever you categorize your business as, there is a category for it. Just click on that. Next will be insert your business name, followed by inserting your business address. Then it'll ask you, how do you serve your clients? And so that typically is, do you serve them, in a brick and mortar store, in a regular store that people can walk into? Or do you serve them strictly online? Or do you do a combination of both? You just have to select that. So it's really just 3 choices there. It's then going to ask you, what kind of digital tools do you currently use? If you don't use any, that's fine, but typically someone's using, they're using their web page, or they're using social, or they're using a financial, software like QuickBooks or something else like that, or they're using, PayPal or Square. So any of those things sort of qualify in that category, and all you have to do is select a few of them. And I think in a couple of these categories, it'll just say you have a maximum number to select, or it'll say you can opt to select as many as you like. On the next slide, we're going to really highlight the next set of pieces that go through these categories. It's now going to ask you to click on the number of years that are in business. So literally is sort of just some squares that kind of have categories of length of business time. You're just going to click on one of those. Same thing with number of employees. You'll click on that. Then it'll ask you 3 areas of learning. And really what that means is, what is it that you're interested in having Verizon Small Business Digital Ready help you be able to do? That could be anything from, email marketing to social media planning to, cybersecurity areas that you can select there. You can select up to 3 of those areas and just be able to sort of move through to the next question, which is, who do you want to connect with? Again, because there are a lot of different areas within the program itself, you can elect to, connect with a peer network. You can elect to connect with one of the Verizon coaches. So again, they're already laid out there. All you got to do is hit one of those selection buttons. Next, it will ask you your diversity group. So it does look at you identifying your ethnicity and or whether you're, women-owned business, veteran-owned business, and the like. And then finally, it'll ask you to insert your phone number. So we're going to conclude with that. We're going to take questions at the end for this, but I'm going to, after we walk through this page, I'm going to actually walk you through the process so you can see how it works. I do want to remind you that we have our Greenwood Women's Business Center, which is our entity that is administering this program right now. And so you can always find information by clicking on Greenwood WBC, as well as usbychambers.org. You can also find other resources from us. So if you come back and visit us, you'll see us at usblackchambers.org/webinars. We have an ongoing suite of learning opportunities through there. We also have our USBC Navigator website at usbcnavigators.org. Other opportunities that you can connect locally with our chambers of commerce who are participating in that program. We also have buyblack.us. And so if you're interested in having your business be on our directory of Black-owned businesses, this is all free of charge. You can elect to put your business there and have it be part of the directory, or go one step further and have your business certified as a certified business, which opens you up to lots of opportunities in the supply chain and supplier diversity space. And then finally, just follow us on social at Greenwood WBC or US Black Chambers to keep in touch with all of the things that we have going on. So with that, I'm going to transition this a little bit to the actual web page. So we're going to share my screen. And where we are right now is at the Verizon site. I'm going to go back one. So I think it's at the USBC site. So if you went to usblackchambers.org, this is what you'll see. It's one of the first banners that you'll see. And all you really have to do is click on it. As you can see, we have Verizon, USBC, and GB in our Greenwood Women's Business Center as part of this effort. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, and so if you look at the page itself, you can elect to sign in this way, but I want you to move down a little bit into the page to go to Small Businesses, Big Dreams, because this is the place where the actual grant opportunity sits. And if you just click on register here, we're going to start that process. So if you're following along, just scroll down and we are going to move into the actual application. My application is loading right now. We'll give it a minute. So I'm going to go back and try this again. And if not, I'm going to move to another space so I can share with you exactly how this looks. Because, you know, technology. So I'm going to stop my screen share here. I'm going to open it up to the other page that I was talking about. Just give me a second. All right, and here we go. Okay. So you should be seeing my screen right now. Where I want you to go for this registration piece, I'm going to let you do that, but I'm going to go in just so you could see how you sign in and register for the process. So I'm going to hit register because I'm going to set up a new account. Okay. And if you remember the screenshots that you saw, you will see that, let me put in my email address. You will see that this looks just like the screenshots that you saw in the presentation. So you put in your email address and then you hit continue. Okay, now it has sent an email to me at my address. And I'm going to go into my email address now. And I'm going to accept it. And I'm doing it on my phone because it's a little bit easier than me having this toggle between pages. So I've received the email. It basically says, take the next step to verify your account. It's telling me I'm almost there. And so I am going to hit register now so that it'll allow me to go in and actually create my password. So I'm going to move out of this space right here, and I'm going to go into sign in. And I'm going to use my other account so you can see what happens as part of that. Okay, so once you get that message, and you should have a screen that'll come up within your computer where you can just go directly to it. It then allows you to kind of go, into the profile. And so right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's anything else for me to complete relative to my business profile. But all of the steps that I walked through originally, where it's asking me what kind of tools am I currently using. Here's again that whole selection process, right? And so this is what it looks like once you've registered, but you literally get to select these pieces. It asks you, what do you want to learn about? You get to put those pieces in, and you can select up to 3. It's going to ask you, who would you like to connect with? So I selected, I want to know more about marketing. I want to know more about peers who are in my industry, any business owners with similar interests. But as you can see, you can select legal experts, HR experts, finance experts, peers in my region, whatever really works for you in this process. Next is, do you identify with any of the following groups? And so I am African American, so I'm a Black-owned business. I selected that, and I'm also a woman-owned business as well. And if you're a veteran-owned business or a disability-owned business or any of the other categories, you can select those. Next, it's going to ask me, who do I primarily serve? Where do I serve them? Most of the people that I work with are online. And so you have, again, sort of these 4 options to select that. How many employees do I have? You get to select that number. What's the annual revenue? You get to select that range of numbers. How long have you been in business? And then you hit save. Right? And it should allow you to I can go back to my account. I can edit my profile if I want, or I can just go back to the page to, again, sign in. So that I can now see the courses, coaching, community, or other incentives that are available. What's great about these courses is that they're self-serve, but they're really short in length. So I think the maximum time of any of the ones that I've looked through is like 45 minutes, but typically they're 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And for this particular grant opportunity, you would want to complete at least 2 of those sessions to be eligible. So as you can see, different topics from cybersecurity to selling, to remote work within your business, operating efficiency. So a lot of different courses. There's also a series of them as well. USB-C will also, and Greenwood Women's Business Center will also be featuring specific courses that you can just sign into us and just kind of walk along the process with us if you'd like some additional assistance. I mentioned coaching. And so these are my courses right now, but then there's all courses. And so as you can see, there's just a battery of different courses available to you. As we move over to the coaching space, you can find a mentor to help work with you and coach you through Verizon. And so they're in partnership with Micro Mentors. So there are some personalized attention that you can receive as part of this. This in and of itself as a free resource is invaluable and definitely something that you want to be able to connect with. So that's what you can do from a personalized perspective. And then from just a general coaching perspective, whether it's one-on-one whether it's Ask the Expert. You can tune into some of these webinars to participate in those, as well as some of these one-on-one reviews and any of the dates that you might need to register for those particular events. So this is a really, really great resource, one that I hope that you'll take full advantage of. And I think it'll be extremely beneficial to your company. The next is community. They do have a Slack community, so you can join Slack if you're interested, and then you'll be able to connect with lots of other business owners as well. And then they also have a live community event. If you wanted to learn more, you could go to that event on March 24th. Again, you would just register to participate. And then from an incentive perspective, here's the application sits. And basically, once you complete 2 courses or coaching events or community events between now and May 12th, you can unlock this application piece. So once you do these courses, it'll automatically populate your profile that they're completed. You're going to come to incentives, and then you're going to click on how to unlock. And so it should automatically unlock for you once you've completed those courses, and then you're able to get in and submit your application. Please submit your application prior to May 12th. So even if it's like May 11th at 11:59, please do that so that you're not, scrambling at the last minute to pull together information. But it's a fairly simple process. And one that I'd love to see all of you participate in. And then beyond that, there's obviously other offers that they have as well, a 60-day trial for online bookkeeping, video conferencing services. So a lot of the kinds of tools and resources that make it easier for businesses to be able to gain that level of efficiency, but also to get the kind of tools and resources that help them be able to move their businesses forward. And so with that, I'm going to stop sharing now. Just give me a minute. And we're going to take some questions. So I'm going into the Q&A. Let me check the chat right now. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to answer your question in real time, so I'm not going to type your answers back to you. You entered the name of your business, but continue was still grayed out, so you couldn't continue. So my question to you would be, do you already have an account within Verizon? Because that could be the issue. So usually when you enter your name, something will come up where it's sort of like a Google verification of your name. So whatever that message says, if it's saying that there's a duplicate, that's why you can't continue. So just check your business name. If you've got an LLC or Inc. or anything else, part of that, a lot of times we all have, similar company names. Make sure that that gets included. So put in the full sort of legal name that you filed your business paperwork with. And does this webinar count as a course toward the 2 needed? Unfortunately, no. But we will be providing another webinar or 2 around that. So just kind of stay tuned. Follow us at usblackchambers.org/webinars. And you'll be able to see when we do one of our courses. And we'll pick a couple of courses that we think would be beneficial to everyone to kind of help you get through in those 30 minutes. It typically is a video. So if you don't mind sitting on with us through the video, as the video goes through, we'll answer questions as part of that. So happy to really assist you. We want you to have a level of success in this. And so we're happy to do what we might need to do to help you out. Are there any other questions? Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any other questions. As I said, if you do, you can reach out to us at programs@usblackchambers.org if you have questions after the fact. We will make this video available for you to access on YouTube. It is streaming right now, so we hope that you have an opportunity to see it on one of your favorite social platforms shortly. And for those who did register, you can also receive the presentation if you like. So happy to be able to do this, happy to help you go through this process and make it a lot simpler for you. Hopefully that's what I accomplished in this. And I really want to thank you all for joining today. And as I said, please, reach out to us as a resource, not only for this program, but for any of your other business needs. So thank you again for joining, and have a great weekend.